Hey everybody, Invisiblekatana here after about 2 months or so of absolute nothingness on the channel, of course. So I was like, where have I been? What the heck has been happening? Crazy vacation, absolute chaos. Of course not a good vacation, otherwise there would be footage or a video or something cool. Although I did go to Vegas, I just took pictures though. But I haven't done anything for about 2 months or so. I think it's been about 2 months. It was about a month or so, probably about a month and a half actually, a month and a week or so, of just absolute crap, and that's why I hadn't been filming anything. Then the past couple of weeks have just been me finally kind of mentally getting back into, or pretty much doing anything that I was doing before July. So the big thing that happened while I was, or actually the reason that I was gone, not the thing that happened while I was gone, it's the reason I was gone, was because in my apartment, the one I'm still currently in, I was dealing with a mold issue. And normally that wouldn't take like 2 months worth of time and be this whole big problem, but because of where I'm at and how I was totally being ignored for the issue that I was dealing with, I wasn't at my apartment for like the entire month of July. I wasn't here because I literally couldn't live here. Like my throat was literally like affected by it, and once my throat started to bleed because I had like irritated skin in the back of my throat, and I like scratched it, and I was like, oh, my mouth is bleeding like crazy. I was like, alright, I have to get out of here. So I hadn't been in the apartment. I'd been taking stuff out. If I did like a little tour, you'd see that it was like it's super empty right now. Oddly enough, it would probably look like it did when I first moved in, because I took like half of my stuff out as I was trying to figure out what the heck's going to happen. Are they going to actually solve this problem? Am I going to be moving somewhere else? Are they going to put me in somewhere else? Basically, all that ended up happening was they ignored me because it's just been a really crappy experience. Took me like 3 weeks just to get in touch with the property manager because she didn't answer phone calls, didn't answer my own emails, her own office emails, stuff like that. Was completely ignored for like every single problem that I had. They basically acted like I was just making crap up. Because of course, you know, they didn't give a crap and they just wanted to get their money. So they didn't do anything. They gave me like a dehumidifier for moisture. And I'm like, there's mold and stuff. Like, you guys need to actually do something. So for like the entire month, I was not here. And I didn't really get back in until like, I'd have to check like the actual date, but I think it wasn't until like the first or second week of August when they finally kind of did some stuff. They said they cleaned. I don't know what they actually did or anything like that, because I came in and I was like, there's a spider in the corner of my bedroom, which has been there like the whole month that I was moved out. I was like, I'm not, you know, why bother with this spider? I'm not here right now. I can do it at once. And I came in the day after they like supposedly cleaned or did whatever. And I'm like, there's a spider like right there. Like it's a cleaning crew or whatever. Even if they are specifically there for mold, do you think they would actually be like cleaning it? I was told that they would be cleaning the walls and stuff too, which obviously they couldn't have possibly done that if there was a spider like right in the corner. So I don't know what they actually did. I saw they cleaned out a little bit in the windowsills, and I'm like, I feel like that's all they did, because there's like little spots, and I'm like, that looks like mold right there. Like, and it's still, you know, it was just left in the dining room, and I'm like, right on the floor right here, that kind of looks like mold to me. Like, at least spots, and you know, look like something. And I was just like, that wasn't done, like, you know, nothing. So they probably didn't do jack. They said that I shouldn't have any moisture issues or anything like that. It's still muggy in here, so I don't know, whatever, you know. Once again, I was initially told one thing, and then something totally different and far less than that ended up happening, because I was told they were going to like have to dig out the ground and do all this extra stuff to like fix it and reseal it, and none of that ended up happening unless they magically did that all like in a day, and they made the ground look exactly the same when they put it back. They didn't do any like digging up of the ground or anything like that. But I was told some issues were fixed or whatever, and that was supposed to solve my problem, whatever, so I stopped dealing with the dehumidifier. But it's still muggy. There's still moisture in here. Things don't get like completely dry, which is probably more of an issue because of course the windows are probably old too and not really sealed well. But yeah, it was about a month. It was more than a month of that, trying to deal with just a million different issues with them. Mostly the issue of actually getting in touch with the property manager, because like I said, she was totally ignoring me the whole time. Never really offered any real solutions or did anything to actually help me. I was offered the chance to move into a different, like a townhouse across the street actually. That offer lasted for like the week, I guess, for like 1 week. I saw the complex. I talked to her the next day, and this was still, well, I can't say it was early on, but it was like early on as far as actually talking to her, since it took 3 weeks. So it was probably only like the second week of me finally being able to talk to her. So I still had a million questions because she'd ignored me the whole month, and it was like, alright, well, I need to know about like reimbursement, because I literally couldn't live in here because it was killing me. So I was like, alright, well, I need to know about reimbursement for, you know, rent and for my cable and electricity and stuff that I paid at the, of course, the beginning of the month, that I could not use because there was mold and stuff and it was affecting me health-wise, and I literally had to leave or I would have died in my sleep. So it was like, I had questions before I was going to just be like, sure, I'll just do this thing and sign something else with you guys. I have more questions still, so I was like, well, I need to know about like, reimbursement and stuff like that, and I'm not 100% sure when I want to move in, because at the time I still didn't know if they were even, because I'd asked about like breaking the lease and everything. So I mentioned the reimbursement stuff. She's like, all right, I'll get back to you. You should hear from me tomorrow. And that was the week of the 1st. So that was like going into the week of, or it was the week of August 1st. I think August 1st was actually a Thursday. So I was like, all right, I have to, of course things will get done by the 1st because they'll be like, all right, well, we want our money. And naturally, if they solve the problem, they'll be like, okay, no big deal. Here's your rent for this month, and I moved and signed all this. I just assumed there's no way, they would screw me over like that. I was totally wrong. And she did not get in touch with me. I had to call her, didn't get any contact with her. And then I found out she left for, like, vacation or whatever. Like, on that Friday, she left and didn't get back until Tuesday. And then when I talked to her, where she sent me an email on Tuesday saying that whatever, like, the very first issue I talked about, because I had, like, mold in my kitchen cabinets. And she mentioned that, like, oh, that was in fact taken care of. And I'm like, that's not the problem. Like, there are a million other things, like there are two totally separate issues that I was complaining about, like, and it's literally on like the maintenance sheet where it's like, okay, service issue here was for kitchen cabinets, and then a week later it was like, hey, there's mold all over my apartment, there's like water damage somewhere, like something's wrong. So there's two totally separate issues, and she mentioned like the first one, I mean, like I said, this is literally over a month later, she's like, turns out that was taken care of, so if you move, you'll be in like, you have to pay like normal price. I'm like, why is she even mentioning the first thing I talked about? But that is what it was. And the day after that, I saw her because oddly enough, she sent me that email as I was leaving my job to go up to the office. And so I was gonna go talk to her. It's actually insanely hot. I just realized like I'm sweating. It's so hot, and probably because of the moisture and whatnot. Because if it was totally dry, I wouldn't be like sweating right now. It would just be warm. But anyway, it was funny. Like I got that email and I was like, okay. I drove up to work, or drove up to the building. By the time I got here, she was already gone. And I was like, okay. And that was like 3 something in the afternoon. So I had set up a meeting. The next day I went to see her, and that's when she was like, yeah, well, we already sold that one, and if you move into another whatever, you have to pay full price. I was like, wow. Literally 7 days later, it was a week later. It was a week after I'd seen the complex, or seen the townhouse. It was already gone, and I talked to her one time. I talked to her the day after I saw it, and that was it. No contact from her or anything. And then it's like, poof, well, it's sold now. It's like, what a shock, because, she didn't give a crap. So that's what I've been dealing with for the whole month. There are other issues that I don't even really want to talk about, but that was like the consistent monthly thing that at least took me out of here, and that was specifically what impacted the channel not getting footage, and then like the other stuff kind of impacted me where it was like, I'm already not here, and not kind of my normal setup. Not sweating my butt out, like, holy crap, it's been forever since I've worn this hat. I forgot how hot this junk is. So that is funny, but it is also warm right now. Can't turn on the air because, of course, the fan's like right here. Like, you wouldn't even be able to hear me. You can probably already tell for anyone who actually watches like my old videos and stuff like that. I'm using my old camera. I'm not using my mirrorless one. I'm using my DSLR, so I'm not using my little A6300 right now because one of the random things that happened, I freaking lost the battery charger. So I had to buy another one off Amazon today. So hopefully, that's supposed to get in, I think Wednesday or Thursday. So right now my batteries are dead for this, and I lost one of the other ones. So I got 2 batteries, they're both dead. Fortunately, I still have my charger for the old camera, which charges the battery for both this camera, and the same battery goes onto my light, which is very fortunate, and I, of course, have 2, so I'm able to do both. So yeah, so you might have noticed the audio sounds different because I can't use the microphone because it sounds horrible on this one. I guess just because the camera's older or something weird. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, the microphone that I normally use on that camera, it's bad on this. Like, it just sounds so insanely loud. Like, it's just ridiculous audio. It's horrible. So, that's why it sounds different. It probably looks a little bit different as far as the lighting. It seems, based on what I'm looking at on my screen, it's like the one magic thing about this camera. I got the flip up screen. I don't have to use my phone. It does look the same for the most part. I'm sure there'll be a difference. It's at like 40 frames per second, which is super annoying because it's it's an older camera, so I can't change like some of the other specifics that I'd like to. So it's on like 40 frames per second, which is just a weird random thing. Like, it won't let me change it, little stuff like that. But probably notice the video is slightly different. depending on how things go, I might end up doing other videos this week. I don't think I'll be doing anything else today. I just wanted to do this video just to kind of be like, this is where I've been, this is what I've been going through, or at least 1/3 of the crappy stuff that's been happening in the past month or two. So that's kind of been the big thing, literally just being displaced, being back in my dad's, and being, back in the super tiny cramped room, and basically all my videos would have been like my really old ones. If you look at my old reviews where I'm just like stuck in the corner next to my bed, it would have been that again. I was just like, I was already dealing with so much crap. I was like, it would just make me hate doing the videos, and I was just like, I'd rather just do nothing than just be like, I hate doing this. So that's kind of why I did that big break, and just being displaced, dealing with the other crap that was dealing, that I had to deal with mentally, emotionally. A bunch of crap was happening in the past month. Is crazy. But kind of back to normal, just a little bit. Apartment's looking weird and empty. Like, I moved a bookshelf. It's like in a totally different spot now, and everything just looks like deserted. It looks like a deserted, like, nerdy grocery store or something. Like, I got books on my shelves, but they're all just laying flat sideways and stuff, and nothing's like really set up. Things are just sprawled out because I'm like, well, I'm leaving it for months because my thing is up in November, and obviously after dealing with this, I'm like, I'm not gonna stay here. So that's been super fun, looking for apartments, because before this mold stuff happened, everything was pretty much fine. I'd have like minor issues, a little bit of bugs here and there. There's another random thing, the freaking cicadas were like inside my little baseboard heater, so every couple of nights a cicada will pop out, and then they're just loud. So I'd have to like spray into the thing to kill them and stuff, and that was just a weird issue to have. But it's like, okay, bugs, little thing here, little thing there, no big deal. Then the mold stuff happens, and then I have to actually deal with them, and I see how shitty they are, in the main office, and they just ignore people. And it was funny, going through that whole issue is when I finally started to see the reviews. All the crappy reviews that came up were all after I moved in, and I was like, dang, that really sucks. So it was just kind of funny. It was like, that's hilarious. Like, all the bad reviews that finally popped up about specifically this new company that owns the complex, it was like all that popped up like after I'd already moved in. I was like, dang. But yeah, pretty much everything in those reviews was exactly what I've been dealing with. So I was just like, that's super fun. But I'm stuck here because, of course, they didn't want to break the lease. Probably because they would just have to admit that they were screwing up, and they of course want their money from me. So I'm just stuck here until November. So I'm here. I haven't died. Whatever they did do, or is probably more than anything, is probably just the fact that the weather is just getting colder. Like, it hasn't been as warm and stuff like that. So the mold can't really spread at this point. Or kind of come up again. But yeah, there was mold on everything. Like, I wish I had more pictures, and of course I'm not really going to throw them all. The ones that I have, I'm not going to throw them up, because you've seen mold, it's just mold. But yeah, it was spores on all sorts of stuff. Hats, jackets, all sorts of random. I had like mold on binoculars. Like, there's so much moisture in the air, it was insane. Like, there'd be like bars of soap inside the box would have like beads of water on it, because it was like so much moisture, like on the floor. Like, cause I had like a random box inside of a bag or something, and I opened it up, and it was like, it looked like someone like used this in the shower and then put it back in the box. Like, it had beads of water on it. That's how much moisture was in the air. Like, anything that had like water on it, the water would just sit there, and it's still kind of moist in here now. Like it's still not really perfect, but that's what I've been dealing with. Wanted to make this video, and I'm finally filling up to it. I just had to make this to be like, hey, I'm back. Not entirely sure when things are going to get kind of back to normal. Of course, there's obviously I can't say lots of reviews. Well, I guess I can. I haven't watched Boruto in like 2 months or something. I don't even know how long. It's been forever. So there's like 10 episodes worth of reviewing for that. Unfortunately, of course, during the whole issue that I was dealing with, I ended up doing like my final like 4 episode reviews for iZombie, which really sucked because it was like the final season. Like, I wanted to really do those. I've watched them, of course. I watched the episodes. I wrote some notes down, so when I do eventually do that video, it'll kind of just be like a quick thing for all 4 videos, or all 4 episodes together instead of doing it individually. So those will have reviews. The Boruto stuff, I'm probably going to do the same thing, where it's just like a bunch all together. But in this case, it was very different compared to like, oh, I just stopped watching the shows, or I just fell behind because I was bored with Boruto, or anything like that. It was really just, I was just kind of out of place with it, and I didn't even want to watch it because I was like, I just want to kind of watch everything as fresh as possible before I do my reviews, instead of watching, it's been like 2 months now, watching the episodes 2 months ago, and then finally getting back to the reviews. I just have to watch them all over again. So I was like, I'll just hold off on the shows that I'm actually reviewing, which unfortunately there are only 2, like the only 2 things I was even doing on the channel. I couldn't do anymore, or it just mentally wasn't, feeling like doing it. So now that I'm kind of back to it, I'll be having those out, hopefully by the end of the week, hopefully by Friday. I'll have the iZombie video out, and at least like the first set or first video for whatever I'm gonna end up doing with the Boruto stuff, like just trying to figure out how I'm gonna set those up, and depends on if they're doing filler arcs or just individual crappy filler episodes again. So I don't know how bad it's been lately, but that's pretty much where things are. Glad to be back. As little as I was doing on the channel, and that was a really unfortunate thing. Like the last video I think I did, the last 2 or 3 videos were like my Japan videos. That's what I was actually getting into. I was like, all right, it was already 2 months or something behind then, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna finally like go through all my footage and start pumping them out to so to show you guys my first time in Japan. So I threw like a couple up there, and then everything went crazy, and I was just like, I just didn't want to edit. I didn't want to, like, mentally, I was legitimately just like in a real bad spot. For, like I said, more than the apartment, other stuff I'd rather not talk about. So I just didn't want to do, like, I just didn't have the energy to like do anything. So that stuff, I don't know, the Japan stuff won't come out for like a super long time, because it just, like, even when I was doing it, I was just like, okay, I'm doing this, and I felt kind of good about it, but I'd rather just do something brand new and just make stuff instead of just go back to that old footage, because it's not like the greatest footage anyway, if I'm being totally honest. I'll be back on my Instagram stuff as well. I think I've only posted, like, in the past 2 months or so, I probably posted like maybe 10 pictures, if that. I know I posted something because Control came out last week. Great game, highly recommend it. I literally 100% of the game. Like, I played through and I love the crap out of it. References to Alan Wake was just like blowing my friggin' mind because I love that game so much. So super happy with what Remedy did. I'm very excited for the DLC that's supposed to come out later. Of course, we've had all the crazy stuff with the Mortal Kombat, so there's a lot of things that I do want to talk about. Random stuff, gaming things, a couple of shows that have come out. I watched, the Imperial Zen movies come out in the past month. It, came out like last month. So there are definitely a couple of things that I would have reviewed, at the time. So we'll probably be getting some late reviews for stuff that I just really enjoyed over the past month or so. And I'll be talking about just a few random things here and there that I just, enjoyed. So I'll be talking about Control just to talk about, not give like a full, crazy, extensive review. But there'll be some new sort of format style videos coming out, like pseudo reviews, kind of just impression type stuff. So those things will be coming out. The iZombie stuff will most likely be out by Friday at the latest, and then the Boruto stuff will hopefully be out by then as well. If not Friday, then I'm kind of busy this weekend, but maybe Sunday, so something like that. Hopefully I'll have the Boruto stuff out once I actually get back into watching that as well, and write my notes down and figure out how I'm going to condense all that. But I wanted to make this video. I know it's long as usual, but I think this was definitely, compared to most of my rambling videos, I think this was at least deserving because I've been off for 2 months. So decent chunk of an explanation as to what's been going on. Just dealing with the apartment stuff, and now I got to deal with finding new apartments and figuring out where the heck I'm going to be living in a couple of months now. So that's been incredibly annoying. So that's kind of where things are now. But like I said, I wanted to do this video since I've been gone for such a long time. No explanation, no nothing. All I've really done social media wise is, like I said, maybe like 10 pictures on Instagram, and just share a bunch of funny memes on Facebook from my friends, and because that's all I do on Facebook anyway. I don't do anything with that Facebook channel or Facebook page for this channel. I haven't done anything with that in who knows how long. I kind of want to just kill it, but I'm like, maybe I should keep it. At some point I might end up being relevant, so I should probably keep that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm so horrible with that. I'll really only keep up with like Instagram and Twitter, and that's basically about it. So I don't know, but it's just gonna sit there for now. But yeah, thanks for checking this out. Of course, if you guys have any comments, please leave them down in the comment section below. Like I said, I'll try to, I'm kind of back into it. Obviously, this being the first video, I'm obviously, up enough to actually like put out a video and actually film some stuff. So hopefully I'll be getting back into the groove of things very soon, and I'll start having videos coming out, and I'll be putting out some newer content, and eventually I will be getting back to the video game photography stuff, because I did like 1 video of that. Technically I've done like 3 videos all together, and I was planning on doing like more stuff consistently with that. So I still got a bunch of footage on my laptop actually that I just never ended up getting to the point of editing because of all the mold stuff. I was like, alright, Japan stuff first, then I'll push into everything else, and all of that just got stuck because of everything I've been dealing with. So I'm going to be getting back to all that stuff, and I don't know if there will be new content or anything like that, but for sure I'll at least catch up on what I'm missing, and then I'll finally start to kind of get back into the swing of things and start adapting some of the ideas that I've had for the channel, and actually starting to put them out, because I was like this close to like finally getting back into the groove of things, and then naturally when I'm like, alright, finally got the dedication, something really crazy happens that just throws everything off. So that's where we are now, but getting back into it, I felt felt good enough to actually do this video, so that says a ton. Because technically I've been in the apartment for like 2 weeks, I've just been like, I just haven't really felt it. So this does say a lot. It might not seem like it, but trust me, it says a lot for me personally. It feels like a lot. So happy to be back. Thanks for checking this out. I know this is super long, as always. But also, as always, thanks for checking this out. I appreciate it always. If you guys got any comments, as usual, please put them down in the comment section below. And of course, thanks for watching.